Next up on the Run That Back podcast, we got Brooklyn, New York's own Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, Jigga,
Hove,
Sean Carter,
William H. Howell,
a.k.a. Jay-Z. What album? Reasonable Doubt. Next up, Run That Back podcast. Let's get it. Yo, what's poppin'? It's your man Scorpio Mode.
C.Boogie, y'all.
And this is
Run That Back podcast.
And today, right now. Oh man, how do we start this one?
Ho!
There you go. There you go. Hey man. Hey, right, that's the name, what is it, Summer Jam. It was Michael Jackson. Talking about Jay-Z, y'all. Going with the first debut album, 1996, Reasonable Doubt. Reasonably, and that's not the right word. Arguably one of, low-key, one of the best debuts in hip-hop. But by the public opinion, not by numbers.
Correct.
Not by numbers.
Retrospectively.
Yeah,
because after,
and we're gonna get into why I think that is. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, retrospectively, it became a
it's cult classic.
Yeah, cult classic debut.
Cult classic. Yeah.
Because when it first came out,
I was on it, but
mixed reviews. But that's
was it mixed reviews or was it mixed sales? He just didn't connect. It wasn't.
You know what? It didn't hit then the way it hit later because there was a lot of stuff going on in 96.
That's true. That's true.
So that, with all of that and then him dropping the album, things
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Don't get the recognition that they should have.
But people went back and that it's one of those things. We're talking about like Reasonable Doubt, because the interesting thing is there's a lot of movies that did that.
Such as?
Friday the 13th. A lot of slasher films did that. Like, okay, Friday the 13th, low budget, I think it was like $5 million, some crazy. And people wrote it off. Even a lot of actors was like, I wouldn't do this, but I need to check. But then it takes off. And the people decide. The critics hated it.
Oh, critics.
You know what I'm saying? But then, obviously, I don't know how many sequels later and directed, it gets crazy, but it just goes to show you, like, the people start to speak and then information and, because there wasn't no internet there.
Correct.
That kind of thing. So we're going to get into
Which I was going to say, it probably became, as far as a movie like that, remember we had Blockbuster.
Yeah.
So VHS, you go home on a Friday night, kids is watching stuff and word of mouth.
Yeah. One of those.
Things spread, and
yeah,
that's how that goes. But as we get into this episode, we're going to give you the climate of what was going on in 1996 from a basic standpoint. From, as we said, movies. Independence Day, Will Smith takeoff. Beanie Babies. Tickle Me Elmo. The Nintendo 64 launched. Also in 96, East Coast, West Coast rivalry culminated in the tragic murder of Tupac Shakur that September. Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men had a record-setting record with One Sweet Day. Spice Girls took off with Wannabe. Chicago Bulls had their legendary 72-10 season and a championship win. And then finally, just some key cultural events. The Unabomber was arrested, and Bill Clinton was reelected.
And here's the thing. I think what I'm going to start doing for certain records, this one in particular, try to explain the climate, like, in the club and in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, this is where they really started to intertwine, and you didn't really know who's who. You know what I'm saying? This was the peak of the rapper emulate. I mean, they've always emulated the drug dealer as far as dress code. You know what I'm saying? But now there's people that didn't know who was who, and this is the Alizé Moet was really being pushed out there.
Yeah.
You know, this was kind of like the bottle era.
Oh,
like what it was now.
The beginning of the bottle era.
Yeah, because Biggie kind of like the bad boy thing, kind of like you see Puff in the tub, the
right, but no names were being dropped.
Alizé Moet,
right?
You know, so he was saying that, and we were hearing it.
But what I'm saying, it's not like brands were being pushed the way that
yeah. They were just softly mentioning it, but there was this you know, Versace thing going on and this iceberg, but
and mind you, this was before the Bad Boy takeover. This was '96.
No, this is the middle, because you gotta remember, Big's first album is out. The remix to One More Chance is out.
Right, but what I'm saying is, yeah, Big released Ready to Die. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I'm saying is that whole shiny suit luxury.
Yeah, it didn't really
kick off.
It didn't video wise until Hype came along. It wasn't like it didn't pop, but it was like
it was bubbling.
It was bubbling, but it didn't pop. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why songs like Ain't No Nigga, because it kind of put you through there. Kind of like, that was one of the records. And we'll get into that, but just his lifestyle. So this in the clubs, we're talking, you know, the coupes and Lexuses, and they're just saying all these things in the record. And it was like, they're describing what the tone was in the streets, and now it's starting to come out on record. Yeah. But with a person like the guy we're talking about today, it was really happening for him.
Oh, yeah,
like this wasn't
for a while,
and that was part of his connection to the people, because the people, he did something, and we'll get into it. He did something that the other guys didn't do, even Biggie himself. And this is how you know where Jay made the connection with the hustler. To me, he was the first guy to kind of like, not the street guy. I mean, it's a street character, but the hustler. And Jay connected the dots, and people was like, "Oh, this is something because of." And we'll talk about it's about something he did that no one did before him. But we'll get into that.
Yeah. So as we always do about this time, the album was released June 25th, 1996.
Some of y'all.
It was recorded between 94 and 96 in New York City. Producers were Dame Dash, Jazz, Clark Kent, Irv Gotti,
Ski Beats.
Yeah, Ski Beats, DJ Premier, Nobody, Peter Panic, and K-Rob. The album entered at number 23 on the Billboard 200.
What label?
It was on Rockefeller Priority.
That was part of the problem. Well, we didn't get that. That was part of it.
Yeah. Rockefeller Priority. The album was on the charts for 18 weeks. It was promoted with 4 singles. 3 of the singles were heavily pushed. One was ended up becoming a underground classic, but moved up to mainstream. And we'll get into all of that as we get further along in the episode. But as we always do about this time, what was your intro to Jay-Z?
My intro to Jay-Z, like a lot of people bring up the Hawaiian Sophie thing, which he only said, true indeed, black, or jazz, or whatever it was. But it was a song a couple years, a year, maybe a year and a half later, where he's doing this fast rap, and it's him and Jazz on the street corner. And that was my introduction to Jay. And people, you know how they give shout outs on the Bible? They'll say Jazz and Jay-Z. But it was Jay-Z. Just those 2 letters. I didn't see the J-A-Y-Z until later. But they was calling him Jay-Z. That. So that was it. And then going into Kane's, I think it was Chocolate City tour and Paz K and that whole thing. But that was my true I seen him in when they dropped that song. And he's in the True Indeed Black. I think that was the line. You know, because people like to point out that, but Jay didn't rap on that. So you saw him and heard his voice, and he got lifted up in the thing, looking like a cartoon character. But I didn't hear him rhyme until I forget. Y'all guys can look up the song. Forget was him and Jazz standing on the street corner. It's like this fast rap thing. That was my introduction to Jay.
Yeah, my introduction to him was Hawaiian Sophie.
Okay.
That's where I first saw him, and then hearing him wasn't until Ain't No Nigga. That was
I got another time you heard him before that.
When?
Can I get open? You know it.
On Original Flavor.
Style.
That is right.
Can I?
Fast rap. That's right. That is right. Okay. You got me on that. Yeah, I forgot.
He was still rapping like that.
Right. That is correct. So yeah, I first saw him Hawaiian Sophie.
Right.
First heard him Original Flavor with Ski Beats.
Ski Beats.
And
that crew.
Yeah.
Original Flavor. Yeah. And Jay did a guest appearance. He was not in Original Flavor, let's be clear.
Yeah, he wasn't in
They were signed to Atlantic. Clark Kent signed them to Atlantic.
Yes, that is correct. All right. So as we get into Reasonable Doubt real quickly, it was a certified platinum by the RIAA as of 2006. It sold 1.5 million copies. Like I said, critical success, but not.
So from '96 to 2006, it finally went platinum.
Yeah, it finally went platinum. Like I said, many hip hop fans think to this day still it's his best work. And it's kind of hard not to, because like they always say, with your first album, you're giving everybody your life up to that point.
Yeah.
And that's where most artists put all their everything into, is that first album, because you don't know if you're going to get a second one. And then if you are lucky to get a second one, now you got to come back around and figure out, what can I say differently or the same?
Right.
But getting into the first single, as I stated, released March 26, 1996. And this was also on the Nutty Professor soundtrack, I believe. I think the edited version was on the Nutty Professor soundtrack.
Are they calling that the first single?
That is the first single.
It's not Dead Presidents.
No, because actually, Dead Presidents, now when I just read that they said 4 singles were released, Dead Presidents was not an official single, although there was a video shot to it. And if you look at the video, it says promo only. So it wasn't released as a single, but a video was shot to it.
Okay.
So the very first single, Ain't No Nigga.
Yeah, because see, when I heard it, I heard that and Dead Presidents on a Clue tape, the same mix CD, the same. Was headed to 112. And my man. Shout out to my man Jermaine. He put it in the mixtape. He came from up north. He had the mixtape, put it in the rental, and I heard Dead Presidents first, and I was just like, oh, just what he was talking about and how he described it. It just had this hustler's essence to it. And, but go to the other side and it's Ain't No Nigga. Because I'm familiar with the beat already.
Right. How can you not?
Yeah, I think it's the original beat is 5 minutes of funk.
Correct.
And because it comes right into it, does a drum roll.
Yep.
And just the voice of him and her, keep it fresh in it. And it was like, okay, it was like a hustler's thing to. It felt very much the times with the Moet, the Alizé, the section thing was just starting really. It was the VIP section, but not the seating. And it just started to feel like, no need for you to ever sweat the next chick. It was like something you would say to a chick, and then she would say the same thing back to you. So it was a call and response record in a sense.
Yeah.
And it just felt very good, and it was danceable.
Yes, that is correct. It was a club banger,
The
as
hook
soon as it
helped.
came out. Oh,
the
yeah.
hook,
Definitely, because you had a female singing it,
right?
dudes responding
So
to
you
it.
got everybody in the club that has this,
And with a noticeable break beat.
and this is right, exactly.
With a noticeable break beat, and that Jazz did by hand, and it's actually off beat, like at the beginning, because they tried to get the loop to loop up correctly, and I think it's off by
But
by
let me ask you this: how come everybody else that did it? Maybe everybody else had that same problem.
Exactly. That's
because with it,
EPMD was the
they
first
used
ones
it.
to use it.
But even before them, it was a staple record in the 70s to rap over.
Right. But I mean,
that's what they would, but they're cutting it. They're playing the record.
Exactly. You're actually cutting the record. Now, when you get to sampling it, I produce as well. So it's like if you're trying to truncate a sample and get it right, you're trying to find that perfect ending for it to loop back again. So he couldn't get the loop. So it was like he did it the first time, and then the next time it was just like he was just waiting mentally, just pressing that button over and over and over again, just to stay in beat, and that's what.
And then you got Foxy. You're coming off I Shot Ya, and you got this chick with this energy, And
she was young.
She was young.
Yeah.
Everything, but like it's the really adult call and response record at the end of the day with the hook. You got the guy go rapping. You got two different tones singing, and it kind of gives you that R&B feel. Then it's a play off the old record.
Yep.
What's the name? Ain't no woman like the one I got.
Yep.
which bring back, this is one of my pop's favorite joints.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. That kind of, so it had that element to it. It's like, yo, it was a underground club moment, I would say.
Yeah.
I know the Tunnel ate. I wasn't in the Tunnel when that dropped, but I know the Tunnel ate that record up. I can only imagine.
Well, I remember being in the clubs because I was in Pittsburgh at that time, so it was just like the clubs. As soon as that came on, it was like the closest thing I could probably remember going back to that point. You remember when Rob Bass, It Takes Two, you hear that do 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 do. You know what I'm saying? As soon as that, you know what I'm saying? You heard that, and then it's like a mad rush to the dance floor. This is back when people used to dance at the club, socialize at the club instead of being on their phone and on top of couches. Real quickly, that was the highest charting single at number 50, and that was Ain't No Nigga.
And then when that deal with Def Jam worked out, they were able to fit it onto the soundtrack. Exactly. And that's when you get the video with the excerpts of the movie and
yes, that is correct. The next single, released August 29th of 1996, Can't Knock the Hustle. Again, I'm going to say this early, and it carries throughout the album, but there was a jazzy feel to this album.
That I did not. I did not really catch that the initial album cycle. I'm gonna be real with you. I thought that was my only problem. The production lacked.
You thought.
As I got older and as time went, I was like, nah, I like the production too.
Yeah, because if you think about it, with what we know now of Jay-Z, right? Mm-hmm. The vibe is you have hard beats, but you also have a melodic, jazzy undertone with it. So it's like it kind of mimics him. It kind of like Jay's mad cool, so you got that jazz.
But I'm glad you said that, because here's the thing: I didn't. This is my ignorance. I didn't equate jazz with the streets. When jazz is actually the streets of its time. Like, that was the theme music of its time. But I didn't. My ignorance didn't.
Now here's the thing. How can you not equate jazz with the streets? Because You got Smoky Clubs. You
This
got
is
you
what-
got the Devil's Lettuce.
But that wasn't my all of that.
This
But that was
reminds me
my
when I was a
ignorance, like
girl,
not
and I
realizing
used to
that
smoke grass with all
in
the
jazz's
Negro jazz
premier
musicians.
time, that was the music of the streets.
That was the music.
You
of the
know,
streets.
and I didn't know that, so I'm equating jazz with, which is one of the producers with Premier and Guru and Gangstar.
and-
No, but I'm making it more tribe than I am streets.
Yeah.
I'm making it more backpack than I am streets, and that was my ignorance. It wasn't until my ears got more refined, and I was like, no. This is, and it really took Ski to say that. When I saw an interview where he was like, he listened to, Nas's, what song was it? Song where he got the loop from. No, from
Dead Presidents.
Right. But how he made that was listening to a record. He wanted to get a record that sounds like not New York State. What was the Nas record? And he said he got a record that was close.
What, New York State of Mind?
No,
or,
and then he was like, I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, I wanted to say he was like Jack the Rapper. Nas it just came out, it was 94.
Illmatic.
And they're playing Illmatic. And they had this jazz sound.
Mhm.
And he wanted to use, he said, I want something like that. To the point, he has Nas' voice on there before Jay's. And was like, and Jay told him to leave it on.
And he built it around.
Right. And that introduces, and like I said, this is me coming forward now. I don't think, this is what Nas kind of edges Jay. I don't think we got the Jay that we would have got if it wasn't for Illmatic. Because in 94, you got to look how Jay was rapping.
Right.
And then Ski introduces Jay to this beat that was inspired by Nas.
And you also have to think about it like this, where Nas has a slight edge on Jay from a music standpoint. Nas's father is a jazz trumpetist.
Right.
I believe his name is Olu Dara.
Mm-hmm.
So technically that's already in Nas's DNA, jazz. So he already had a sense of rhythm and, with his dad being a musician. And
Well,
being a jazz musician
same with
at that.
Big. It was a guy in his neighborhood. I think he was a trumpet or something.
Yeah.
And he was telling Big how to flow like the instrument.
Yep, like an instrument.
And that's why he get these hits when Big comes, and it was like
He
that's
saw these different flows because he's
Right.
using his voice as an instrument to
Right.
complement with everything that's going on musically. He's trying to carve his way
Right.
into being heard and all those different type of flows. But yeah, and I believe if I'm correct, I think with the what is it?
So it's just interesting to see, like, okay, because if you go to 94 and you were like, I can't get with this, and Jay was rapping still like, J to the jigga the A, jigga the A, jigga the Y, Z, and then at the same time, Illmatic's out. But then the underground following and respect Nas got, not the record sales, but the anticipation, this is the next guy, we hold him up, and all these guys, and then Jay comes around, and I'm not saying Jay switched the style up, I'm just saying that it's to be argued that Nas inspired Jay.
I would say it's not too far-fetched.
But to go even deeper, but to tell his story though, and switch his style, not what he was saying. Because no, you can tell your story and it's cool.
Yeah.
Your story. And I think Jay starts to do that. And he has a real story. It's documented. So unlike some of his other peers, you hear the glitz and glamour of it.
Right. You hear from his peers, you hear their stories of another's story that was told or that they may have overheard.
But just to highlight.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
But it's not
the glitz and glamour of it.
But never the consequence.
Right. Jay gives you the before, the during, and the after.
And then what's woven in between is
his
navigating through the relationships and how they change during, you're going through this process. And no one's ever did that before. Like, no one's got into the conscience of a hustler. That how, you know, he has a line where we used to fight over building blocks. Now we fight for buildings you fight over buildings that they hustle out of to make millions.
Yeah, I think in that same song,
I think it's the Evils.
Yeah, it's the Evils. I think in that same song where he says, you know, we used to, you know, sleep over
right, slumber parties.
Yeah, now I'm trying to put you to sleep. You know what I'm
saying?
So
it's these things. So no one ever described the real, genuine relationships. And if you listen to that, especially the Evils, then you watch the movie Paid in Full, and then you be like, you see what I'm saying?
Which is why, from a future Jay-Z song, this album should tell you everything. Where he says, "I did that, so you wouldn't have to go through that."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, retrospectively, you know, everything he said was, you know, relatively true from his eyes. But getting back to Can't Knock the Hustle.
What'd you think about, because there was this thing, and I'm hearing it from singers, right? But then I also know, okay, the story goes, and Mary said the story, I could look it up. Mary has a friend that knows names. She kind of know him, but he had a friend that knows him better. Mm-hmm. They want Mary on the song. Mm-hmm. What song is it? Angela Winbush. Is it Renee and Angela, right?
Actually, it is Melissa Morgan.
Melissa Morgan. I'm sorry. Taking that. My bad. I'm thinking about somebody else used Renee and Angela. It might have been Jay on another record. I forgot.
I Love the Dough.
Yeah, I Love the Dough. My bad. So they take that record and they get Mary on the hook. $10,000 in cash. You know, Mary takes it and they do the record. She wanted to do it over. It was like, nah. And I understand. You might not get her back you might not get her back. We just gonna make this work. You know, we got a deadline. We got the track. We got it.
10,000.
So you, as you know, with an R&B background, how do you feel? Because I heard people there's like the vocals, and I can hear, but I think for the record it's good. But I know that it bothers singers.
Well, it doesn't. Here's a few things. It doesn't bother me as a singer because there's technically right and then there's the feel. Mm. As we know, early in Mary's career, it wasn't so much about the technicality of her hitting notes and all that other stuff. She gave you songs that you could feel. She gave women songs that they could feel. You feel her pain in my life. You feel what she's going through. Same thing, even though Lauren's a much better technical singer, there were still some points where, like, sometimes if you sing something, it's not always going to be right, but if you get that, that's what you want. It may not be, and singers will go up and like, no, I can do it better. And sometimes the producer or whoever, if you're being vocally producer, like, nah, don't do it again.
But for a hip hop track, the rawness sometimes is needed, and you can hear the graspiness in her voice a little bit.
Yeah. It fits because in fact she's singing part of My Life. You know what I'm saying? From her song, you know, My Life, but she's just giving you just her now as years go by when she performs it with him on stage, sounds much better. Right, you know what I'm saying? But that's because she has grown as vocalist. The song, you know, you've grown up with it, so you know what to expect. But at the time it's recorded, nobody gave a damn because Mary's on her second album. It's like, oh.
She's not in the video, but Hype Williams directed video, by the way. Let's get that clear. Black and white. Black and white, shot by Hype. They wanted that slow motion, theatric kind of feel to it. You know, they're celebrating at the dinner at the end, and it's the girls, and they, you know, firing shots at Jay, and he's with another chick, and he's ducking, and all this stuff. Like, they're rolling out their lifestyle, what is to be,
Yeah.
what they want you to body, and kind of the blueprint a little early than a lot of cats were doing it. Big was doing it, but it's something coming from a guy that, like, nah, this guy's different. This guy's a little different, and
what I want to say is
y'all dudes lunching, punching the clock. My back is to make. Oh my God.
Jay's thing, even back then, was that he was cool.
Yeah.
He was too cool. He walked the fine line of being too cool for school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was
Yeah.
cool, but yet, what I read recently is that he was polished.
Yeah, I mean, by the time he got there, you could even look in the Ain't No Nigga video, and it do Scheme from Scarface, and he's that, they went to Miami to shoot the video.
Yeah.
Independently.
But what I'm saying is
He's setting this up.
Yeah, he's always been cool. He's always been
big in his first two videos. He's what we say, the promo, and then Big has a little cameo shot in Ain't No Nigga. And then there's Foxy Brown, there's Don Poole, there's the I don't know, Ferrari or Lamborghini, and he's setting you up, and just richness and the Versace stuff, and it's like, oh,
it's a step away from the backpack. It's a step away from the army fatigues. It's a step away from the grittiness that Nas was bringing you with Illmatic. Right. It's a difference.
Because at the time, I'm not sure, he didn't scream Marcy a lot. You know what I mean? It might have been one or two Mars, one or two references, but it wasn't like, let me show you, let me pull the Bentley up to the hood.
Yeah, it was always Brooklyn, without a question.
Oh yeah,
Brooklyn,
1,000%.
But there was not that, there was not that constant punch of an MOP saying Brownsville,
right?
Or Mobb Deep saying Queensbridge.
And this is with their own money, so it was like, who are they with? They were themselves. It wasn't like, they're under Puff. They were under themselves.
And probably that's a good reason for him to be kind of cocky with it, because it's like, this is us.
Yeah.
So guess what? I'm going to be as cool as I want. I don't got to answer to nobody. I answer to me. We answer to us.
Well, we're going to get that. But yeah. We answer to, right.
You know what I'm saying? We answer to us. So, yeah. The next single, released on April 15th, Tax Day of 1997, Feeling It. This was another jazzy tune, but I think vocals were by a lady named Mecca. But just another.
Do you know the history of this record?
I don't. Please.
This initially is a what's the name record? There's the vocals are out there.
Who?
Lucini Falling from the Sky.
Camp Low.
This is a Camp Low record. Jay was like, I gotta get that. Look, the version is out. I gotta get that. Here's the ill part. Jay takes their flow too.
On the song? Oh my God.
When you get a chance, or you can play it low. I'm telling you.
No. It's in my head.
It's feeling it, and they got a verse. There's a verse. And then Jay does the flow.
But then I'm trying to think of.
It got the same hook and everything. Feeling it.
Is he doing Sonny's or is he doing the other dudes?
I want to say it's I forget which one, but there's an interview out where he talks about it. That was their record.
Because he produced them as well.
That's why the song has a jazzy. They was already Lucini Falling from the Sky and You Get Rich. What? Whoever starts off that song, there's a version. I'm just letting y'all know. And Jay jacked the whole flow and everything.
Well, it ain't the first time J Jack flows, but you know.
If y'all ever get a chance, it's up on YouTube. Go listen. I would not stay wrong.
Wow. Now that I was today years old when this was found out. Now, yes, I'm going to have to listen to that again, and I'm going to have to imagine Camp Low.
Oh no. You can hear you can hear their version, and then you're gonna might scratch your head, and he's like, "Yo, he jacked. He didn't take the beat, kind of jacked the flow."
Which kind of makes you wonder, why wouldn't you just do it with Camp Low?
Nah, because they were already signed. I forget who they were, Profile or some shit. I can't.
Rockefeller Independent though. I mean,
they did. No, I want the record. I don't know what ski. I need that.
You kind of left them out there for that one.
Yeah, I need that. That's the one I want. I need that. Let me get that. Kind of like with a lot of records later on that I need that. Yeah. I need that. That sound like a hit. But in any case.
Wow. Now that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that was the singles for Reasonable Doubt. When we come back, we will have the rest of the track list for Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. Oh, welcome back, party people.
Yeah.
We got the track list for Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt.
Okay.
Real quickly, just for my own pleasure, shout out to Sam Barge. We were talking about the track list for Reasonable Doubt.
Yes.
So we're going to get to it. So, like I said, we've already discussed Can't Knock the Hustle, which featured Mary J. Blige. Mm-hmm. The second song, Politics as Usual.
Let's go through the setup, though, like the intro.
The intro is part of Can't Knock the Hustle.
Okay, right. So you got that. It's kind of like, because a couple albums, it becomes a reoccurring theme with Pain and Ass. Yep. And it's a skit taking from the Scarface dishwashing scene. They're already in Miami. They get a visit. They're washing dishes at some type of taco stand or something. Guy pulls up. Y'all know the movie, and that's reenacting. But now it's outside of a bodega. And as we like, you guys, there's a deal being made. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. So it kind of like not mafioso, but this street edge that they're painting this picture of who this guy is. Mm-hmm. His come up. They're reporting to Jay-Z. Jay-Z's gonna stick your heads up your ass faster than a rabbit gets fucked. That whole thing. So the whole point they're driving is he's the man. He's the money man. He's the man in these streets. So I just kind of wanted to set that tone.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Like I said, we got Can't Knock the Hustle. We've already discussed that. The next song, as stated previously, Politics as Usual. How did you feel about this song?
Politics as Usual. I liked this. Once again, I really did not appreciate the jazz. This is the precursor to the Blueprint, whether anyone knows that or not. If you really listen to it, the first Blueprint with the Kanyes and the Just Blazes and that whole thing, and you hear it, Politics as Usual. Wow. It just, and I was really caught up with this album. So it's the Olympics in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I'm on the MARTA train. It's the subway system in Atlanta, which is right next to where I stayed at. Like, get on the train, one stop, go to work. And I'm Walkman, CD player. It might have been even a tape. I think it was a tape. And I wore this album out. And the train is super crowded because the world is in Atlanta. The world, Craig. And I'm sitting up there, but I'm zoned out. Just, the album spoke to me. This is one of those songs. Like I said, just the best that's ever came. Oh man, it's so much advice to a hustler in a lot of these records. This one as well. It's a lot of guys, and I hate to say it's a blueprint to hustling, because he's not really teaching you how to hustle, but he wants you to be, if you're going to do it, be aware of your surroundings and what's going on and what it's going to take.
Yeah, I think he's giving you the blueprint of, as you said, of what to be aware of what to keep an eye on, of what not to do, of what to do, of how to handle yourself in situations if they arise. It's kind of like what are those books, A Dummy's Guide to Hustling. He's just giving you, and mind you, this is all from his perspective, but speaking from a general term.
I told my mama I'll be back soon. That was November of 85, and MKG's lot. Like, think about that. The average guy that was talking about street stuff like that wasn't talking like that. It just wasn't. You know, it wasn't a lot of them, but the ones that weren't speaking. And this kind of lets you know this guy was around some things. It's too detailed not to have done it. You know, you can't even get that through secondhand. My man did it, and when he come in town, he told me stories, and then I put him to pen to pad. It wasn't that kind of thing. You had to be somewhat present or close enough to that to know the things that he was talking about were really, really things happening.
Yeah, and I definitely think the second coming of that was the clips per se, from a drug speaking perspective. And when when I say that, not so much of from a hustler's perspective, but from the selling of drugs, but said in a slick way. And then the third coming of that was Griselda.
Oh, so you're saying the spin on it?
Yeah, the clips spin on Jay-Z, and then Griselda's spin on the clips. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just there's not too many crack rappers left. You know what I'm saying?
But how could you it's like you could tell somebody, yo, this is what you're doing, without telling them the consequences or the pitfalls to whatever that is. It's like, no, don't just go out there and do it. If you're doing it, this is the have money for lawyer fees and that kind of thing. Like, nobody else was saying that.
No, it was just, I'm selling 20s. After we selling all this, we going to the club. After that, we getting the girl, and then we repeating that whole cycle again. Nobody tells you stay off the phone. Nobody tells you look out for these cars. Nobody tells you that your man might come up short if he hits you, if he borrows something from you, or that your friends ain't gonna pay you back, or girls gonna siphon off you. They don't give you they don't tell you to read between the lines. They just giving you the big picture. Yeah, we went out, sold some drugs, went to the club party, had some girls, came back. We're gonna do all that all over again. They don't tell you about the re-up. They don't tell you about all types of other stuff that falls in line with the job.
Right. And he brought that. He wasn't the loud talking, this was the other side, the quiet, and now he's just happened to speak, and he's saying these things. So when I hear politics as usual, I'm like, okay, he's showing you these politics. Like, this is what it is. Not all politics are good, not all politics are bad, but this is how this goes. So I just thought that was interesting record.
Yeah, he tries to give you, he gives you both, because he kind of gives you the street side, and then he gives you the quote unquote book side, like I said, with the politics.
Which Nas wasn't even doing.
No.
Nas' perspective came from looking outside his project window.
Right. Nas was an innocent, I wouldn't say innocent, his was a bystander. He was telling you what he saw.
Right.
Jay's telling you what he did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference between the two. The next song, featuring the notorious B.I.G., a.k.a. Biggie Smalls, Brooklyn's Finest. This was produced by Clark and Dame Dash.
Now, Dame, for what I understand, gives Clark the sample. That's what he gets.
That's why he gets producer credit for.
According to Dame, yes. That's why he gets producer credit. He gives, and the song took a minute to do.
I heard. Would you like to tell them the story?
From what I understand, Jay, Clark Kent is DJing. Well, he's really producing for Junior Mafia and DJing for them.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the road. he has tapes of Big. He tells Big about this guy. Yeah, man, you know how Big is rolls back. You know, your man is alright, and that kind of thing. He kind of strings him along, and then he really sits him down to hear the record. Meanwhile, Jay's in the studio. He gets them to finally meet, and Jay's already wrote something to the song, which was called "No More Mr. Nice Guy." That's the reason why he's "No More Mr. Nice Guy," and then the beat drop. But that's why there's a "No More Mr. Nice Guy," "No More Mr. Nice Guy," twist the fuck back with the pistols blazing hot, like, you know, he do all that.
Yeah.
So Jay has the song. Big likes that song, so that's the song. So Jay strips it. They do the song. That's the whole thing of, yo, here go a pen and pad. What's that for? I don't need that. And they find out that they don't really write. That whole thing comes off. Puff does not want to clear the video. They want to make it a single. But they don't want to make it a single unless we could do a video. But Puff won't let Big be in the video. He'll let him do the song because he really, really liked. And I had a preview because I heard that they did a song months before it came out. I don't know if I necessarily believed it, but I heard it, you know, from some Brooklyn guys and that run with not Lance. Oh yeah, well, really through Lance, but what's the dude that was managing Junior Mafia and all those? Jacob York, you know. And it was like, yo, they got a song together, and I was hyped because Jay was. I'm like, oh, they got a song together. And he was like, yeah, they got a song together, you know. And it was really true. When the album came, I was like, he wasn't lying. But the beat, I think that Jay, according to Lil C's, Jay was like, Big thought Jay got him. He was like, yo, he got him. And even asked Clark Kent, do you think he's better than me? He said, he's different. Your guys are different. And that's why I think the songwriting and the MC, I think Big was a better songwriter, but Jay was a better rapper. You know, but Big had the songs. Jay didn't, you know, the hooks or whatever the case. But from what I'm saying, that's the loose story. It goes into more detail about waiting in the car and coming back upstairs, and Big was already there and playing these games. But Big couldn't do the verse. He saw Jay made up his shit right then and there, rewrote it.
Yeah, I heard it took Big like 8 months.
And Big kept playing. And I was like, I don't know if it's because it was on tour to get his mind right, but it took a minute. Yep. I didn't know. I don't know how long the time was. I can't say that.
I heard it was 8 months.
Jesus.
Yeah. But like I said, Big was probably moving around that thing.
He wanted to lock in. I think he knew
that Jay's gonna be a problem.
No, but Lil C said he was like, yo, he's next. Like Jay knew he was next. Why else would Jay form a group with him?
Yeah.
If he didn't think, you know what I mean?
One could only imagine what the group would have been like.
Exactly.
The next song, to me, is the magnum opus of this album. That's just to me. I don't know how it is to y'all. Let us know in the comments. Dead Presidents. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Now, which version? Because there's a version, he got the one remix version. You say you want money like Cosby. Who wouldn't? That kind of talk made me think you ain't got no pudding. And I was like, when I heard that, I was like,
I don't care which one it is. This one, that one, it doesn't matter. It's like he said. Nas made it a hot long line. This nigga made it a hot song. Not to mention the sample, which has been done by Mary J. Blige. And
your alibis ain't matching up, bullshit catching up. You see what I'm saying? The conscious mind, like he's breaking the realness down over this song. Even when you see the video and they coming down with they coming down the helicopter, he's jumping into the GS. You know, it looks, and then there's the famous gambling scene. I'm pretty sure you guys heard the story. They brought real money to the thing.
To Monopoly, yeah.
and passing around bottles, and there's AZ. I think somebody said it was those guys who at that time. Nas, this is part of with the initial ruffling of the feathers between Nas and Jay. Nas declined to be there. You know, but you see Big there, you see AZ, the fly guys of that time. I don't know. Maybe Nas, there's too many Brooklyn dudes in there for him. I don't know. You know, whatever it is. But that song right there, boy, it's, like I said, I heard that and Ain't No at the same time on the same Clue tape. And I was like, what is this? And mind you, this is Coochie Sweater time. This is like, I can't explain to y'all. This is Moet still, for the most part. But this is Alizé, Moet, Coochie Sweater, Simiyaki smelling, cologne, you know what I'm saying? This is right before the Buggy Eye Benz was coming out. The Buggy Eyes that y'all guys seen in Belly, recorded not too long after this.
Yeah.
Fun fact, what's the name? Def Jam wanted Jay-Z to play the DMX character initially. But they weren't buying it. But they did want him. Lior was pushing for that.
I don't buy it.
Because they thought Jay fit the hustler persona, not DMX. I'm just putting that out there. Look it up, yo. I'm not making
He might have fit a hustler persona, but not Tom.
He wouldn't have. I don't know how the movie would have. I mean, because now we're judging it based on what we've seen X do. You know, but it's like,
if I would have pictured him more towards Nas' character instead of Tommy.
Right, yeah, and that's a fact. I just,
you know what I'm saying?
and you can't have two cool guys in there. You got to have somebody to offset.
Yeah, you have to have the juxtaposition.
The energy.
Yeah.
And Jay's personality just doesn't call for him to be screaming and having that energy. It just doesn't.
Yeah, because even in what is it, State Property?
Oh yeah,
where he's just in the car and just like, word.
Yeah, I need a haircut. Oh, it's
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. The next song we've already discussed, Feeling It. How'd you feel about that? Now you like that song?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, cool. So now the next song, The Evils. I can now, mind you, up to this point, I like everything. I assume you like everything.
Yeah, even
Like up to this point.
Yeah, up until this point.
Okay. The next song is The Evils. For me, it was just mid.
I can understand why somebody say that. I just cared about what he said. I was like, you could have took the beat off. It's the Prodigy, Snoop and Prodigy sample.
Premier was cut.
Premier, he's doing what Premier does in this the Illuminati, that whole thing, and then you got Snoop, Dear God, but the stuff that he says in that record, oh man, it's deep, and it applies right now to this day. It's the evils of moving around, which I know y'all keep hearing me saying he's very descriptive and talking to the other side. This is the perfect record for that.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships, girlfriends, friends. Shoot, man. The Evils is probably the realest record on this album. Beat wise, I'm not wild by the beat.
Yeah. And I think that's what just makes it mid for me, because it's like, it's not about what he's saying, but it's just like, yeah. Like I said,
it drags.
Yeah, I could take it or leave it.
It drags. The production on this one, it does kind of drag. I get why somebody would say that.
Yeah. The next song, 22 Twos. Again, for me, it's just...
They pick it back up. The beat isn't all that. It piggyback. It's more about his lyrical. You know, he could do something clever, like
right. And it's sort of an interlude, but it's as long as a song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like,
he takes the Tribe Called Quest. Can I kick it? Does it like a live freestyle thing?
Yeah.
And which he was doing on the road with that record when they were doing the promo for this album. I seen Jay-Z on the promo to this album. And matter of fact, at Flavors.
Oh,
yeah. Jay came a long way from performing.
Yeah.
When I say a long way,
I'm sure.
You know, but yes, and I want to say Swiss Beats were there. Swiss Beats used to DJ at Flavors.
Yeah, because he's from Stone.
Yeah, he wasn't that good. I'm just telling you, he wasn't. You know, as a DJ, he wasn't. You know, but at the 22 Tools, it was slick. And when you kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I get it from a
think about this
from a witty perspective. Yes, it is
21
clever.
questions. 22 Tools.
Yeah.
You know.
21
2, because he did another one with 4 4s too.
4 4. Yeah, 44 4s or something like that. Yeah, I get it. Now this is where the album starts to pick back up. Can I Live, produced by Irv Gotti. Classic sample. You've heard it time and time again. An Isaac Hayes sample. I love this song. Now, mind you, it was flipped a totally different way though, because generally after like you know what I'm saying? But Irv does a nice little flip with it, so I respect it. But yeah, I love Can I Live. That's where the album starts to pick back up again.
Yeah. What is the line? The famous line? This is the documentary. They document this album, where he goes, I'd rather die enormous than live dormant. That's how we on it. Live at the main event. A better trip to Maui on it. Viva, catch me at the crap. Taking real life stuff. Catch me at the crap table. You know, and they talk about the experience out in Vegas, like, in case Tyson have a major night off, it's clean money, it's tax write-off. You ain't seen money in your life when it comes to this cheese, y'all like 3 blind mice. And woo!
He be talking this shit.
Man.
He be talking. The next song we've already gone over. Ain't No Nigga, that's with Foxy Brown. Now the next song. DJ Premier. Friend or Foe? This is another cold one, y'all. This is another cold one to me. Another cold single. Friend or foe? State your biz.
But see, once again, the relationship with going out of town, getting money, or running into some dudes, and this is what Jay's. It's kind of storytelling. He's describing a moment, right. Hustler to hustler, right? And you sit there and it's like, these kids think they don't like nobody fucking with their dough for shit. You're enterprising though, and I like that. Fucking with the big dogs, I gotta bite you. Look, it's out of my hands, and you get money around here, not in the plans. So hop your ass out of that van. Oh my God!
Never come back here no more.
That's almost like a long skit in itself. Very descriptive. He's describing a moment of dudes getting money. He's pulling up. Oh, y'all not from around here. You twitching? Don't do that. You're making me nervous. Them dudes, well, they do pack. Them dudes are murderers. So please, would you put your hand back inside? Because they don't like to see me nervous. You can understand that, right? You want to draw? Better be Picasso. You know the rest. Because if this is not so, God bless. What? The Jay-Z is the sarcastic motherfucker.
And I think the thing with him
his sarcasm is...
Oh, it's great. And I'm a fan of sarcasm.
He's like Seinfeld with rapping. It's like just sort.
I love sarcasm. I think what he's done, because you just said it, he raps the realest shit about moments in his life. He's not giving you the whole play. He just gives you a moment, and it's the realest moment that you will.
It's not even a whole story. It's
That's
a
what I'm
moment.
saying. It's never a whole story. You're just getting the realest thing that happened at that moment.
Right.
Do with it in your imagination what you will, but it's the realest thing at that moment that Jay gives you. The next song, Coming of Age, featuring Memphis Bleak. Gotta love it. I love this song again. Another song that
Another moment.
Yes, another moment. Don't worry.
And Jay writes this whole thing. Man, I can say that because Memphis admits it.
Yeah.
And Jay writes this, and it's like younger generation, older generation. I'm gonna take you up under my wing. You know, you want a G? No, ride for you for free. The long-term money and honey. Now listen to me. It's this conversation between older hustler, and younger hustler that he sees around that's watching him. And you know, you might have sent him to the store, took him under the wing, you like him, you ride around in your car, and it's this conversation. That really happens. That's why I just be like, yo, this dude had to, because these things do happen.
Yeah, because he basically tells them, you know, stay low, stay humble, don't be out here wilding.
Yeah, like, why you messing with them? You need, look, come in the car and ride around, and it's like you sitting in the car, he's in the passenger seat, and he's having this conversation with him, and it's like, and it's the back and forth. It's not like he's just talking. Bleak is answering.
Yeah, and he's basically giving him a glimpse of what it could all be if you play your cards right. You could be rolling around in a nice car with money. As long as
Fuck the name, skip the fame.
Yeah.
100 G's, whether 1,000 or 100 G's, keep your shit the same. On the low, the only way to blow. You let your shit boil quietly. Then you blow. Keep it moving. What?
It's a blueprint. Again, he giving you a moment in time.
He's not telling you to do it, but if you're going to do it,
this is how you do it.
you might want to take some of this advice, you know.
Now, this is where the album starts to fall off. Cashmere Thoughts. Now, mind you, love the sample because BBD had a song called Hootie Mac with the same sample, but BBD's version, they flipped it a hell of a lot better. But produced by Clark Kent, the song just didn't do anything for me.
I could take it or leave it, but I thought it was the, you know, talk like a pimp, talk like a man. I'm not mad.
Yeah, I didn't like it. The next song, Bring It On. This is a posse cut with Jazzo and Sauce Money.
I could have done without this record. And it was a waste of, I shouldn't say a waste, because I'm not mad at it, but I could have did without Sauce Money, and with it could have. Bring it on if you think. Get the Fat Joe sample.
Premier did the beat.
Sounds like
Premier.
Yeah. My least favorite record. One of them. I only got two, but it's livable.
So I like. Story time, real quick. I did a track that Sauce Money was on. I was playing on Hot 97.
Oh yeah.
A while ago, but yeah. So technically, we're kind of like what 1 degree of separation, two from Jay.
Yeah. Exactly.
2 degree separation from Jay-Z.
There you go.
Anyway, the next song, Regrets.
This was my least favorite.
I did not like this song at all.
It's too somber in the sense that this ain't the number one rule for your set in order to survive. I get it, and once again, it's the mind of a hustler. You gotta learn to live with it. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna have it. It's not that you're not gonna have it. It's can you learn to live with it? because it could eat some people up and they get stuck in the past. Living with regrets is really just moving forward and be like, it is what it is, and keep it going.
Yeah.
Some people keep dwelling on it and woulda, coulda, shoulda, and fuck, the players mess up, so keep it moving. This is my least favorite record.
Yeah, it's one of mine. The next song, now I had there were 16 tracks on the version that I listened to on Apple Music. The next song was Can't Knock the Hustle. It was a remix with Melissa Morgan. Honestly, I didn't like her vocals. And I know she's the originator.
I've only heard it one time, but I got so used to Mary's rawness that once I heard, I'm like, y'all didn't need to do this.
That was my whole thing as well. Like, why do you have her on here? It's because you went back and was like, you know what? Mary's is cool, but we can get somebody who's better. I mean, we can actually get the originator.
It could be
who could sing it better than Mary. So that was my thing.
It could have been part of the deal. I know there was a situation where
if you're going to use my song, I got to.
We have to do a version at least.
Yeah.
And there was a deal with a. Fuck it, I'll just say it. LL's doing it, and the only way Grace Jones cleared it if she could be in the video. The original song is My Jamaican Guy, and they said yeah, and then they dissed her.
Put her on the editing floor, didn't they?
Never even called her. They called her anyway, and the song was moving so up. Yeah.
Oh, they hit her with the corporate shit.
It's that Leor did that. I'm telling you right now, Leor.
Oh.
Or maybe they couldn't find the spot, but what's the name's creative? She could have been one of the ladies or the one that was running the peep show.
Yeah.
They could have let her punch his ticket going there to do the peep show.
Just like the Roots didn't let Eve know.
And I was like, but that was the only reason why she cleared, and she never cleared it again because somebody else tried to use it, and they were like, nope, for that reason. I'll say this. Fabulous tried to use it with him and Nicki Minaj. The song is done. If you look, and there's a version of it with Nicki Minaj and she wouldn't clear, so they just put it on a mixtape. On Fabulous is one of the Summertime Shootouts or some shit. Mm-hmm. But because of that, Grace won't clear it.
I mean, well, you can't.
And another fun fact, that record was originally for Biggie. Biggie told him to record two. He was like, I want My Jamaican Guy.
Whoa, you know, doing it well, right?
Doing it.
Yeah.
Said, I want My Jamaican Guy.
Yep.
And Sade's, I'm trying to remember the Sade record. And he was like, put this up for me. Big was notorious for put this up for me. And Homeboy was twisted.
Yep, he was twisted.
And then
he played by mistake.
He was playing some beats for Chris Lighty, who was managing LL at the time. And, you know, they bring it up. They trying to find stuff. Stuff isn't labeled. You think you know what's on there. You play like, nah, that one. No. What's that right there? Nah, that's for Big. I can't. Let me just hear it. How much they charge you? I'll pay you double.
And you tell that to a man who's in a financial bind and he hears double,
it's gone. They do it. They pay for it. Do it a week later. He calls. It was like, I'm ready for it. You know, because, and I don't know if people know the process. You get budgets, but the budgets have to get opened up. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't even come through Puff. Let me be real clear. That comes through Arista. Mm-hmm. Once money is allocated,
the parent company.
Yeah, and once that money's allocated to the subsidiary or Bad Boy or whatever, then it opens the budget up. They just don't have shoebox money. This isn't that. It has to be done a certain way for tax purposes. And money has to be accounted for. But that's what happens. All from that record, Jamaican Guy, and we get down to the Grace Jones. And I don't know why I just went on the trail to this story, because Jamaican Guy is not on this record. But it's about sample clearances and people not showing up in the videos. But that's it.
And the very last song that I did not like was Can I Live Too, featuring Memphis Bleak. And didn't like that song.
That's all y'all that have that delay. I never even heard it. I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah, you don't want to hear it.
I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to hear it. And with that being said, that was the track list for Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. And when we get back, we will have the pros, cons, and conclusions for this album.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, we are now at the pros, cons, and conclusions portion of this podcast. And this is for Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. Mo, what were your pros for Reasonable Doubt?
Lyrical ability. Lyrically, this is his best album. As a whole, he has songs that are lyrically better on other albums, song for song, whatever. But when you, as a whole album, this is Jay's best work. There's no rules and nothing confining him like corporate money. You can't say he's free to go and do what he wants. It does what he wants to do. Lyrically, this is Jay's best work per album. I don't want to get confused. He got other songs I like better than the songs on this album. But when you talk about a whole album from top to bottom, lyrically, this is his best work. Love the jazzy sound to it. Didn't appreciate it when it first came out. I have to admit that. I shouldn't even say grow on me because I grew on it. I had to grow and develop the taste for it. And then I really, really get it now. Because I used to always say, take the vocals off of Reasonable Doubt and put them on another record. And get somebody, not in a bad way. I just felt it could have been better, more, but I was wrong. I like it the way it is for the songs that I do like. So that's my pros. Your pros.
Lyrical ability, of course. Overall, the production. Like I said, there were a few misses, but overall, the production gives the album like I said earlier, a laid back vibe. Since Jay's calm and cool, you get the jazz portion of it that's calm and cool, but you also have the boom bap of the underlying drums. As far as song wise, I mean, it's cool, but like I have to agree with you. Like I said, I think lyrically, it's his best album because he's just speaking freely from his point of view about certain moments in his life. And as they say with, debut albums, that's your whole life on record up to that point. And up to that point, it's a pretty damn good album.
Even the chick record is split amongst men and women. It's not a total chick record on there, so it's that kind of thing.
Yep. Your cons.
It's about 2.5 spaces where it falls flat. It wasn't the songs didn't suck, but they dragged. And I was like, he could have spit the tempo up there. But not to the point I'm mad, but those particular songs, I'm just like, they're dragging the album. You didn't need to that. And I wouldn't have mind, the big record, I feel like Big could have, I can't say that. The big record is tough for me just because we got teased and we never got it back again. I mean, more money, more problems, but that wasn't this. Brooklyn Finest to me is better than More Money, More Problems. I mean, not More Money. What is it? Love the Dough.
Oh, Love the Dough?
Yeah, I mean, no, I like Brooklyn Finest better.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
No, I like Brooklyn's Finest better. I like the way it starts off. I mean, just no more, that whole thing. But just those 2.5 records, and I'll say half because other one, I could take it or leave it. The other two, I could just leave it. You're pro. I mean, cons, pardon.
Yeah, the last, with the exception of Coming of Age, the last third of the album had those gone away, with the exception of Coming of Age. This might have been
because where they getting the source?
The source.
It got like 4.5 mics, something like almost perfect. And this was
the Source. This was named one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time by
Right.
the Source, but it was done in 1998. It wasn't when it first came out. Like when it first came out, it was ranked as the 14th greatest hip hop album of all time. It was the second best rap record of 1996. It was the 5th most essential hip hop album ever.
so they must have put All Eyes on Me over.
Let's
Because
see.
who else would have topped that? The best rap of 1986, but
96? Yeah.
it would have to have been Tupac.
Yeah, because it was the 17th best album of the 90s. Was on Vibe's 51 Essential Albums. It was Hip Hop Connections, part of 100 Greatest Rap Albums between 95 and 2005. So I guess they went. It was kind of like a Southern Playlistic Cadillac music moment where years later they'd go back and listen to it again. And they're like,
Because
this
we
was
didn't,
a classic album.
but
You know?
people listen with different ears because we appreciate Jay now.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
Because the album didn't change.
No, yeah, of
You
course.
see what I'm
not.
saying?
Exactly.
So when you go back, it's not the album, it's you and how you perceive the album.
Yeah. But like I said, for
Because
me,
mind you, everybody got overshadowed by All Eyes on Me.
yeah, and not to mention,
And then you got the Puff and you got that. Then you got Can't Hold Me Down is out. It's a lot of traffic.
there's a lot of traffic. Not to mention, All Eyes on Me came out, and then he died in September. So
Right.
there's that.
It's a lot of
There's
traffic.
a whole bunch of stuff going on. Biggie's album and One More Chance and Tupac passing away and then the East-West War and he just got, that album got caught up in a lot of bullshit to no fault of his own.
And then Def Jam came in later behind it.
Exactly.
You know, they didn't get the proper promo and the push initially with being that. So I just want people to be real clear.
Yeah.
You know,
So your conclusion?
as a, you know, Jay has grown. You know, he doesn't make music like this no more. But for those fans that do, I do appreciate that. I remember having a conversation with Lenny S. And he goes, this is about 94, not 95. He goes, I talked to Jay. It's Lenny S. is, you know, he's A&R for Rockefeller at the time and does a lot of stuff at Rock Nation now, right? He says, remember Nelly had the sweatsuit? He was trying to talk Jay into doing an album like that. Because people like the old Jay so much, but it was growing. So if you just make one, you know, 5, 6 songs on this, and then 5 songs on that, and obviously Jay never did it. But I remember him telling me that, and he referenced Sweatsuit. Like, you know, the grittier Jay, the more, and then there's the polished Jay. You know.
Oh, so this had to be 2004.
4 or 5.
Okay.
Because I was at the Platinum Brothers studio. That's where I met him at.
Oh, okay.
And he was in between because he was doing for Jermaine Virgin. He was A&R for them for a hot second. And then he went back. And he was coming in as an artist, collecting records and getting something from them. And, you know, I remember we had the conversation. He was like, I was trying to get Jay to do something like that. And I was like, interesting. Because I'm sorry, I like drug dealing Jay-Z. Sorry. I'm not into Basquiat J, record speaking the president. That I like still.
You like Street J?
I like Street J talking that fly shit, telling me about the latest watch J, because that's the J I fell in. I respect growth. I'm not saying that. That's why I listen to Reasonable Doubt. I listen to the old shit. He was like, buy my old. So I do. You know, the other stuff I don't, you know, because whatever I bought into you for, I don't want to grow with you. I want to find people, I like them for where they are at. I want to meet you where you were at. And I know that's messed up. But when they be like, well, I'm like, well, that's not, you know, you with a chick, you meet her body's right, she talking right now, all of a sudden, she be like, you know what? I'm cut my hair short. I'm going to do this. These titties are too big. I'm taking them off. You be like, no, bitch, that's why. That's not why I liked you.
I love you for you.
Yeah.
That's what you trying.
So I listen to old music, and sometimes when they change, I'm not saying you could be a better person. I just wasn't into Basquiat J now. You know, I like when you talk. When I want that type of information, there's people I go to.
Yeah.
I go to J. Cole's. I go to them for that.
Yeah.
I don't go to you for that. I go to you because I want to hear some drug dealing shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I want to hear the latest car, watch. That's what I go to you for.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
But I'm telling you, it's not that I don't want to hear the message. That's not why I bought into you.
Yeah. So overall, do you think this album has stood the test of time?
Yes, because the content is super relevant. Forget how the music changes and all that. The content still relevant to this day. Aren't they? You could do pick a song.
Yeah.
All of it is relevant to today. All of it. All of it is relevant to today. So hell yeah, man. What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely has stood the test of time. People still out here hustling. What? I have no idea. But it's still being done on a daily basis. Somewhere and something is being sold.
But your job could be your hustle. Doesn't have to be negative.
True. What do you give it? Out of 10?
8.
8 out of 10?
8, maybe 8.5. Yeah. I mean, and the reason why I say that is because it got to be a little bit more to that. Like the other songs, like I'm not saying every song got to be solid, but I at least got to. Yeah, and it's 2 I would throw away completely. I don't need it. But I give it a solid 8. I will go some more 8.5. And most of that is lyrical ability. It's just because he's just so dope at it.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I'm skewing between a 7.5 and an 8. That's where I'm. That's where I'm trying. I'll probably push it to an 8 as well. I mean a 7.5. Just off of lyrical ability.
Right.
I probably will give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
There you go.
An 8 out of 10.
There
You? 8 out of 10?
Yeah.
Or 8 point, what is it? 8 or 8.5?
I'll do 8. I'll make it an even 8.
8, okay. So, for Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt, we've both given it an 8 out of 10.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us. Do not forget to follow us on Instagram at the Run That Back Podcast, on X/Twitter, the Run That Back Pod 1, on TikTok, the Run That Back Podcast 1. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe. And don't forget to press the notification bell.
Yes.
Because we will be on every Tuesday. Don't know if it's midnight or in
Well,
the
not only that, we
midnight.
have new content that you'll see, and they'll be dropping on different days. We're trying to fill up the week up. Just give us a minute.
That is correct. So just for a quick heads up, we have something coming down the pipeline called Fast Forward. We plan on releasing that on the first Friday of every month. So that will be Fast Forward Fridays.
And that will be artists from back in the day making present music now. Whoever, if you got an artist, let's say from the 80s to early 90s, and they're making present music now, whether it be Eric Sermon, whoever it may be, just to kind of is Run That Back Fast Forward. So we're running, the Run That Back artists, which we go from 80s, 90s up to 2010 that are making current music to this day that we all love. So
that is correct. And with that being said, he is
Scorpio Mode.
I am C.Boogie, and this has been
the Run That Back Podcast.
Bye.
Run that